Okay, I'm here doing this show. It wasn't too terrible, but it could have been better. And also, I don't feel good, so I'm in one of those grumpy moods. Anyway, let me find my notes. I should have had this prepared before I came up here, but who cares, honestly. Oop, stay with it. I almost missed my turn. That's not what okay, this is the one. Nope, ain't no notes right here. Where are my notes, Lord? Oh, okay. We pick up where we left off with Catherine and Jim in bed. I just genuinely was disgusted. He goes on into how much he loves her, and she goes on into when's my birthday. Now, he says February. Catherine says, no, my birthday's not in February. That is Celine's birthday. And I'm sitting here like, how do you know Celine's birthday? But whatever. She goes on to when is our anniversary. It's sometime in June, I think he said. And when's Wyatt's birthday? I guess it's in April. So he got 2 out of the 3 right and says, I'm not a complete idiot. And I'm just like, you still are. You still are. And then, you know, there you go, you're lying. And then she threatens his life. I can't remember why, because I just genuinely, again, did not care. Hold on, let me let up the windows because the cicadas got something to say and I can't concentrate with all that noise. She goes on into, you remember when I blew D.A. is it Salazar? I feel like Salazar is correct, but then I feel like it's also not. Remember when I blew D.A.'s head out? You know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting here like, I don't remember because you shot her in the chest. But continue. She says, yeah, I blow your brains out just like I blew her brains out and just like I blew you. And I'm sitting here like, I didn't need to know that. That's just not something that, you know, I sat up, you know, that morning, Tuesday morning, and said it would just really feel good to know what Jim and Catherine were doing in their marital bed. I wasn't interested. I just truly was not. Let me let these things back now because it's hot. Anyway, so we swoop over to David and Erica. David is showing Erica the house, and you know it's a lovely 1-bedroom joint overlooking the lakes and the oceans and the waters and things. And I said, y'all better be battening down the hatches because Hurricane Irma coming through, and y'all got that big old window and that big old body of water. That's not a good idea, daughter. Y'all need to be trying to move. We having weather. Anyway, she looking all out the window and it's nice and all of that, and I didn't care. David calls Erica. Now, I'm confused, but I'm going to talk to y'all about that in a minute. He calls Jeffrey, and is giving, hey, Jeffrey, what's going on? Your mama called you. He said, yeah, my mama called me all the time. You know, this is regular. Every 5 minutes she calling. I'm surprised she ain't on the other line right now. He said, don't talk to your mama. Stay away from your mama. And Jeffrey goes into, are you going to do something to her, Dad? David says, no, I ain't going to do nothing to your mama. Like, who do you think I am? You? Girl, I'm not going to do nothing to your mama. He says, what would make you think I would do something to your mama? And Jeffrey goes into, are you going to do something to her, Dad? No, nigga, we're not going to do nothing to your mama. Just stay away from her. Because we already know, as David, if David had, you know, a little bit of my attitude. We already know that you are prone to murder. Bobby Saferman, Quincy Maxwell, and your mama's titty have all been under your wrath. We know you got that demon in you. I don't have that problem. I'm not going to do nothing to your mama. You need to stay away from your mama before you do something to your mama. That's how I would have said it. But, you know, I'm not David, so I'm just going to let him whisper and groan and carry on like he be doing. David sound like he passing the kidney stone all the time. It hurts too bad to talk, so let me give you this groany whisper. Anyway, let me look. So then we swoop over to Jeffrey. Wyatt calls. I didn't care. Wyatt is giving, hey man, how you doing? What's going on? I'm off drugs and I'm doing great. We out here at the park, we taking pictures. You want to come join us? And I'm sitting here like, you two, Wyatt and Jeffrey, y'all have danced on and off with this last nerve. And the nerve is worn down. She's depleted. There's just nothing left for her there. She's on her way out of here. That nerve, child, she's just worn to the bone. I don't have time for the back and forth between Jeffrey and Wyatt and between Jeffrey and cop Justin. I don't have it to do. I just don't. Wyatt always going back and forth with, I'm not going to sleep with you. Get away from me, man. I don't love you. Stay away. And then, oh, Jeffrey, will you stay with me? Because I'm dying. And drugs and overdose and I'm scared. Will you be here when I wake up? And do you want to come to the park and take pictures? I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't. Jeffrey declines. I'm shocked that he did, but he did. And then they go on about their day. Wyatt and Anna go on about their day. We don't see them no more. And then... well, before Wyatt hangs up, he tells Jeffrey, and don't talk to that police officer no more. And it again confused me because, sis, you act like you hate this boy. Why are you so worried about who he's talking to? Why? I can't, it does not compute. Am I interrupting your drive-by, sis? Why are you driving so slow? Anyway, so as soon as Wyatt says, hey, don't have no contact with Justin, Jeffrey hangs up from Wyatt, immediately dials Justin. And I say, I don't have to, I'm so busy. I'm so booked. I don't feel well. And I just don't, I'm not interested. He calls Justin and says, hey, I need to see you. Justin says, when? He says, right now. Just to talk, though. We're just going to talk. I said, well, if you need to just see him to talk, sis, why don't you just talk to him here on this phone? We're paying these phone bills for a reason, so the girls can talk on the phone. So what I don't understand is why you're not talking on the phone. Let me go and get them out the way. I'm not sure if it goes right to them or not, but I don't care. I don't have the energy right now. I'm trying to scoot on over to work. So, Justin, I'm calling him Justin. Justin, okay, yeah, pull out in front of me and go as slow as humanly possible. And you already got the front half of your car toe off. So I'm not even going to try to play it with you because you just don't care about your wheels. Anyway, Justin comes over and they sit down at the edge of the bed. And I'm just like, y'all ain't no chairs or something to sit on. Y'all couldn't meet down in the lobby. I just don't understand. I truly don't. But whatever. They sit down and Jeffrey just basically says, daughter, you need help. Justin says, I don't need no help. Just because I love you, that means I need help? And me and Jeffrey both said, yeah, a little bit. It don't make no sense. We just met. And they go back and forth about him needing help and blah. And now Jeffrey called Justin against Wyatt's wishes. And now he answering the phone against his daddy's wishes because his mama called. His mama said, hey. He said, hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. They have, a brief moment of pleasantries. Then it goes into, I'm not coming back to the house with you, mama. And she said, yeah, I think you're going to come on back to the house. He said, no, I'm not coming to the house. Then it gets on into, is that boy with you? And he says, no, he's not with me. Like, why you take so doggone long to answer? Now she know. I just don't have it to do. I just, honestly, when I think I'm about to have it, I just don't. I just end up not having it. Oh my God, Jesus. Oh my God. I'm just interrupting everybody's drive-bys this morning because the girls are just taking too long. Where are you not going? It's just, the speed limit is 30. We're driving 10. I can't. But anyway, he took this long periodic time to say, no, Justin ain't with me. And she goes on in to put it on speakerphone. Put it on speakerphone now, Jeffrey. And I'm sitting here like, I would have hung up so fast with the quickness. Put it on speakerphone. Click. Oh, I thought I hit speakerphone. I hit end. Oh, well, back to this conversation I was having before you called. Like, you know how fast I'd have hung up? You know how fast I would have not answered? You know how fast I would have changed my phone number and moved? Child, please. I can't be... No, just, it's a big no for me. Oh my God, girl. Sis, you put on your signal when you're going to turn. You indicate that the girls are going to make a right. Now, I've missed the light because if you're slow driving and you're non-signaling, and then your 15 minutes it took you to turn. And that Sonic is nasty anyway. Anyway, nasty as in bugs and critters. So I hope she finds something in her beverage. That's beverage. I said it fancy. Anyway, basically, he puts the phone on speaker, and Veronica says calls the boy a ball of yarn or a piece of thread or something. I'm like, sis, if that's your way of calling him soft, you may as well call him a Hanes Comfort Tee, because a Hanes Comfort Tee is what I have on right now, and it's very soft and delicious. You got to come up with better reads, Veronica. Just calling the boy a ball of yarn, it took me a minute to understand that you were probably calling this boy soft. It took me a second. Now, granted, there are those that say, oh, you just gonna pull that in front of me. Okay, that's absolutely 100% fine, I guess. If I had put my foot on this gas. Anyway, there are those that say, you know, the best shade is the shade that goes undetected and the girls have to take a minute to catch it and blah. And, you know, that's true on some accounts. It's true sometimes. But ball of yarn just wasn't good enough shade for me to have to wait a minute and say, oh, wait, hold on, maybe she calling him. It just wasn't good enough. It just wasn't. It was not. And she goes on to ask me what I'm doing tomorrow, and he don't ask her, and, you know, she says, well, anyway, I'm going down to the courthouse. I'm gonna ask your wife to recuse herself because, you know, blah blah blah, you in the bed with my son, da da da, video footage, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, at this point, Justin, why you just don't tell this woman, hey sis, a little bit gay, I'm gonna have to let you go? Like, why are you going to allow her to be blindsided by a lawyer in her courtroom? Like, you're really gonna just let that happen? You just gonna allow Veronica to tip into her courtroom in front of her colleagues and in front of everybody else and say, hey sis, so you're gonna have to recuse yourself. Your husband's gay and is sleeping with my son, and it's just a conflict. You gonna allow her? And then he goes on into, she wouldn't do it, you wouldn't do it. And I'm saying, like, the amount of energy that it takes for me to try to care about this is too great, and I'm gonna have to put it to the side. I'm just gonna have to not care. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Now, on to, let's see, what is this? What is, I don't care. Let's get back to David and Erica. David and Erica, somebody done had an accident. David and Erica are looking around this home, not battening down the hatches for this storm, but they're just casually walking around, and he said he wants her in the bed with her every night that she's here, and she says, no, I'm going to just sleep somewhere else. And I'm just like, I don't care about none of this at all. I'm just not interested in any way. And so they're having this conversation, and then it gets more boring from here. And it takes me on into Jim calling David and saying, David, I just did the most horrible, this nasty, vile, gutter, snipish thing I've ever done in my life. I slept with my wife. And Jim was like, David's like, I'm so sorry to hear that. And they go on into, you know, how Jim hasn't been attracted to Catherine in years. And I'm saying, like, were you ever attracted to Catherine? I mean, if we're just being honest, because it sounds like you married her for money. Daughter, your car shouldn't be smoking like that. That's alarming. Anyway, Jim tries to persuade David to sleep with his wife. And David's not going to do that. He's going to give her a call and see what he can do. And Jim is going into, I'm trying to keep us all out of prison, David. I'm trying to get the girls in the room together. That's what this was all about. That's why I slept with Catherine, da-da-da-da-da. And with our knowledge of law, we need to all get together and blah. And I'm saying, like, Catherine ain't a lawyer. She's not a lawyer. So why did you need to sleep with her to get her to come to the function? She doesn't have a knowledge of law aside from what she's gathered being with you for these, 30 years or so. But all in all, she's not a lawyer. The lawyers could have got together, come up with a plan, and then said, Catherine, now look, this is what we gonna do, or this is what we not gonna do. Like, because either way, Catherine's gonna do what she wants to do anyway. So sleeping with her to get her in a room with somebody else just didn't make sense to me, and I felt like it was just a way for Tyler Perry to throw a little piece of rape into the show. Because, he lives for that, and I just can't. Speaking of, I can't wait to talk about Greenleaf. I hope I can get it to you tonight, tomorrow, or somewhere in there. My schedule is doing too much right now. Let's see. Again, David says, I'll give her a call, sis, but I won't be able to, I'm not going to be able to sleep with my wife. I'm sorry. So we swoop back over to Charles and Landon. Now, I've already made the comments, I believe I've said on this YouTube channel, if I haven't said it in real life. I know I've said it in real life. I don't know if I said it on the channel. Charles and Landon look like homosexual brothers. They look like I'm not sure what's going on here. They just look like gay brothers. Not like your gay family, like your gay mama and your gay daddy, and, Pepper LaBeija, the legendary mother of the House of LaBeija, not the founder. Crystal was the founder. Not that kind of gay brother, but like actual physical blood brothers who are both homosexual. It just doesn't take all that. You don't even have a muffler under the car. What's making all that noise, sis? And you're going to stop. Looking out behind you, pulling out into the road. You're just not going to hit me. Not today. I don't feel like it. And you on my nerves too, because your car too red. Back to this. gonna have to come back. I don't even get a lunch break. I come back, it's gonna be dark though when I finish this. But anyway, all in all, Charles and Landon are having this discussion, and the meat and the potatoes and the bones of this is basically that Landon has erased Candace's whole history from the internet. And I'm just, that's so nice for Candace. But what I don't understand is how you erased an active investigation against her. He said when you type her name in, only thing that pops up is, what school she went to and something else. But sis, there are police looking for her as we lay. We forgot about tomorrow as we lay. Like, there are police looking for her. They just yesterday was at the hotel marching around trying to find her. So what I don't get is how when you type her name, the only thing come up, and Candace Young is not, it's not a name that she's the only one on earth got it. So it should be bunches of other things that come up. But how is the police investigation not popping up? I just honestly don't have time. I just don't. I just truly, don't have the time. How are we supposed to get out of this? She did not give the situation to her brother to take the fall. How is Jeffrey not under arrest at all, even a little bit, when those were his whole car keys found on the body? I just don't understand. I'm going to try to come back. I know I'm not getting lunch because I'm closing by myself, but hopefully there'll be enough daylight or something for me to give y'all the rest of this. But honestly, I just can't be bothered. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. Y'all don't know I was gone, so ain't no point in me telling y'all I'm back, but I'm back. Where did I leave off? I don't even know. Okay, so I already told y'all that Landon erased Candace's browser history, basically. So then I saw a lot of people on Twitter like, all of a sudden, Landon looks like he wants Charles. Landon been looking like he wanted Charles to me the whole time. Now, if you take yourself and myself back, let's all go back to, I guess it was last week, might have been 2 weeks ago, when Landon was trying to talk Charles out of this situation all over again, and Charles stepped up on him. Landon and Charles both looked like they wanted to make out. So I've gotten teased already, but whatever. Now, let me stop. Let me abide by the law. So anyway, Landon is hovering over Charles, and Charles is giving, is there anything else that you need, you want to say to me or something? And he's like, no, I'm good. And so Charles is like, all right, well, let me call Candace. Get on out my face. So Charles calls Candace and gives her, how are you? Now, when someone has lost someone very close to them, someone from whom they have come, or from, see, I'm trying to be too fancy. Somebody came out their body, or somebody, that they came out of, usually, not in Candace's case. I'm sure if she lost her mama, she wouldn't have a similar reaction to the loss of her son. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get to is, don't ask nobody when they lost somebody close to them like that how they are. They're not doing good. Candace ain't doing well. She's not. But anyway, she's like, well, I'm on my way to the funeral home, so, if that's a testament to how I'm doing, it is. You're not doing too hot. And they just give some regular conversation, honey. I wasn't paying attention because I don't care. But I'm sure it went like, I love you, call me later, something like that. I don't know. And then we see the funeral home. Now, this scene, I feel a lot of different ways in my heart about this scene. I'm going to give you the rundown. We at the funeral home. Hannah done put on this nice blue dress. So from the from the forehead down, she's looking all right. But the hair, I'm going to need you to do something about that hair, daughter. What happened to your slave made wigs? Get you one of them good swoop wigs to go with this dress, daughter, because it's just not coming together. From the forehead up, it just don't. I wouldn't wear this with that dress. I wouldn't, but that's just, I really shouldn't be wearing this at all. It's hideous, but I'm here. I've just been lazy lately. I ain't feel like giving her a style. I'm just sick. Anyway, what am I talking about? Oh, Hannah's out there with this lovely dress on. Benny just looked like Benny be looking. And they talking to the funeral director. And they mentioned, are y'all ready to view the body? And they standing here in the casket viewing selection room. And I turned to my mama and I said, Mama, at funeral homes, because I don't do too much, I don't do weddings or funerals, they the same thing to me. So I don't do them. And I don't go to the home, I don't view the body. Some of the girls live for viewing a body, but I don't. So I didn't know. So I turned to my mama. I said, Mama, do the girls just be laying in the caskets at the funeral, at the viewing, at the casket selection part of it? Do the girls be laying in there? They test drive the caskets? And my mom said not to her knowledge. Now, around here, we don't do that. Around these parts, we don't have the bodies just in the casket as we're selecting the casket. We just don't do that. But they mentioned, are you ready to view the body? And I'm looking around the room like, y'all not gonna take him to the back where he at on the table? But no. So they're discussing, and you know, he's talking about he got the go ahead from Sister Cryer to go and pay for this funeral. And since we got the go ahead, might I interest you in this more expensive casket over here? And Hannah's giving, no, we're gonna stick with this little casket over here. And he said, you sure now? Because this one is the deluxe model. He'll float on to heaven. It'll be a smooth transition. You know, he'll just slide right on up there. It's satin lined. So, you know, if the road to heaven gets bumpy, you know, it's satin, and the cotton is top. It's A1 cotton. So, you know, if it's bumpy, he's not going to be bumping his head. He's had a lot of head trauma lately. He's not going to be bumping his head on the road to heaven. Do you want this one? Because in the other one, I cannot guarantee that the turbulence on the way to heaven is not going to, you know, bump his head. And she's like, no, we're not gonna worry about him bumping his head. We just gonna take this one little casket here. And that's basically that. She's decided we're gonna have this one casket here. So then he's like, all right, well, I got these programs printed up. Come on, dog. We ain't got all day or all night. I got these programs printed up. Take a gander. And they're taking a gander, and Benny sees something. We never got the word on what he saw, but he saw something because he opened up the program and he was like, oh no, oh Jesus, I can't believe. And I'm sitting here like, what is it? What could be so shocking? But before we could get the answer, Candace come around the corner like Jackie Christie did on Basketball Wives with her head turned to the side. And you know, it's a lot going on there. She don't want Reverend Daniels to preach at the funeral. You know, she don't want him buried at the funeral, at the, what do you call it, cemetery that they chose. She want him buried over at Sam's. He's gonna be buried at Sam's now. We ain't gonna do all this. And she says he wants the blue casket. Now, this is his mama. Hold on, let me order this food. Now, I forgot to mention that they want to do an open casket. He said, let me let up this window because daughter's over here doing too much. And I got allergies and I can't be bothered with this today. But funeral director man said, do y'all want the casket open or closed? She said, I want an open casket. And Benny said, wait now, is the situation all right? Bro man said, oh, we gonna make him look good. He gonna look all right now. Do you want the casket open or closed? Mamie Till goes into, I want the casket open. I want everyone to see what they have done to this baby. I'm just sitting here like, Mamie, please. We've done this. We've already gone through this. It was heart-wrenching and, you know, earth-shattering when we looked at Emmett Till. I'm still shook. I wasn't even born when it happened. My mom, I don't think, was born when it happened. But generations are shook by this. We don't have to do it again. We don't have to. But she's giving Mamie, so. And then Candace comes in with her head to the side like Jackie Christie. And Hannah's just upset just by her presence, just pissed. And I'm just like, that's her son, though. Like, I understand y'all have your differences in this, that, and the other, but that's her son. And all of this, I said last week, and don't nobody rock with me on this one. All of that, where were you when he was alive? But sis, y'all just got him back 2 weeks ago. You just got him back. You got him back. He was sick. Y'all took him to the hospital. Child Protective Services was about to take him. You kidnapped him, which, why is she not in jail for this? Y'all done kidnapped the boy. Candace had Alicia, whatever her name was, this Child Protective Services young lady, whooped. She beat her up. Her and Erica beat her down, beat her up, beat her to the side. And then, like, y'all bought the boy a video game, and then he was dead. Like, he didn't have enough life for her to be there when he was living. She just, because she thought he was dead. And then she found out he wasn't dead. And then Benny went and got her. And then all of these things happened. There was just not enough time for her to really wrap her mind around the fact, oh, my son is alive. And let me go spend time with him. She was trying to procure the house so she could spend time. I just don't have time. I don't have time. Like, I understand that Candace gets on everybody's nerves, but we have to take into consideration that she really didn't have that much time with the boy. She thought he was dead. She thought he was dead. And then when she found out, she just didn't have that much time. And I just can't be bothered. Let me get these wings. Hold on. So anyway, I just don't understand from the bottom of my heart why everybody hates Candace. I hate the entire Young family at this point in time. Like, they get on my nerves, each and every one of them. But Candace is the least of my worries, because Candace is the one that's actually doing something at the very least. She's doing something. She's trying to live a better life. I can't be bothered with the girls that are like, you know what, this is the best I can do. This is all I'm gonna do. I can't stand that. So that's why I don't go in on Candace like everybody else wants to go in on Candace. Because she's trying. Now, her ways and her methods, you know, aren't God's way or whatever, but she's doing her top diddly best And that's all we can ask of her. Anyway, so then they get into, no, he ain't gonna be buried over here, he gonna be buried at Sims. We don't want Reverend Daniels to preach the service, and I want the blue casket. And then we get back on this how did Hannah not get shot conversation, and I'm just really trying to know. I want to know. Somebody call my phone and let me know how Hannah didn't get shot, because it doesn't compute. And Candace feels the very same way I do, and she's giving, how didn't you get shot if you were standing on top of this, covering this baby? How did you not get shot? It just doesn't make sense. It's not logical. I just don't understand. And Benny and his light-skinnedness comes in with the, you sound like you talk about you want my mama to get shot, and you want... Benny, you know they don't like each other. You know your mama and your sister ain't good girlfriends, ain't been good girlfriends. You know this. You know that your mother has called this girl a demon, a hoe, a hussy, a broke back, $5, $2, half-dollar hoe. Like, your mama has gone off on this girl, and you sit there and you let your mama talk all this stuff about your sister that you supposed to be riding for, you supposed to be, taking murder raps and all of this stuff up. You let your mama sit there and talk about your sister and degrade and demean and receive things from her. And then you sit there when she want to know how her son is dead and her mama not dead. Then you sound like you want my mama to get shot. Mommy didn't do mommy this. And you grown, light-skinned, emotional Drake nigga. I can't be bothered today. I can't be bothered. Daughter, what are you doing? Anyway, I can't, because Benny acted in this instance like Hannah ain't never said nothing negative to Candace. Like Hannah is always saying, Candace, baby, you can do whatever you want to do. You be the best hoe you could ever be. I'm so proud of you. You are so intelligent. You are so talented. I love you, this, that, and the other. You act like that's Hannah been saying all that, and then Candace just out of nowhere said, and I want you to die. That's not the case here. So it just doesn't make sense to me. You know they hate each other. And Candace don't even hate her mama. Candace does not even hate her mama, because if Candace hated her mama, Candace would not have paid the mortgage off for the house. Candace would not have given Benny that car so Benny could give that car to his mama, because Candace already knew that Benny was going to get a car to his mama. I can't be about, why is he? It's niggas, white niggas, slow dancing on the side of the road. It's a homeless man sitting here with his sign, anything helps, and these niggas standing right next to him slow dancing. What did you... Anyway, it's too much. I got to move out the city. Oh, I have moved it. Okay, there's a man staring at me, and it's just uncomfortable. I hate this. I hate this. Like, girl, I was just down at the food restaurant place, and the girls were flirting, and now I'm sitting here talking to y'all, and it's a man staring into my soul. Will you please? Like, I know I'm delicious and delectable and so beautiful. We know this is established. It's been established all my life. But what you're not going to do is stare at me from the car over. Like, I hate it. Like, dang. Let me say, oh, she's cute, and keep it moving like I do. I see somebody, I'm like, uh-oh, okay. And then I keep it moving. I'm not going to stare at you until you stare back at me and then give you winks. And that's not going to make me, I'm not going to say, hey, pull your car over. Let's come over here and talk. I'm not going to do that. I don't have time. Anyway, I can't stand Benjamin. Is my point. I can't stand Benjamin. And Candace can't stand Benjamin because she goes into, you always asking me for stuff. Always calling me with the I ain't got. And listen, it's worrisome. It's worrisome to be the one that is always getting the phone call, the I ain't got phone call. It's draining. I don't have time. And I've cut that behavior out of my personal life. I've cut it out. But he goes into, I thought I was just sharing my dreams with my sister. This, that, and the other. And it's like, Benny, you know your sister got a big heart. And you know she has a soft spot for you. Now, y'all can talk all this mess about Candace being a hoe, this, that, and the other, but she does have a big heart. And I know that because, not because she has a soft spot for her brother. I mean, because who don't have a soft spot for their brother? But because she met Jeffrey, saw that Jeffrey was gay, saw that Jeffrey had a situation with his mama, and immediately befriended him and gave the boy some balls. Like, she didn't know this boy or nothing like that. She just saw that he was having some difficulties and just was like, you know what? Let me befriend you. Let me give you a little strength. Now, it didn't work out in the best way because Candace has, trouble. I'm sorry, y'all. The lighting that went awry. But she tries. She really does. And that's what I see when I look at her. The girls be hating, but she tries. Anyway. Candace at one point said that Hannah did this to spite her. Like, had her son die to spite her. I feel ways about it because I could see it. I could see her doing something like this. I really could, because Hannah just don't like her daughter. Straight don't like her. I mean, just does not like her in any way. She speaks things on her. If I were out there home, my mother would be speaking something else on me. She would be speaking, you know, life and deliverance and this, that, and the other on me. No, that's not going. I'm trying. Oh, there we go. That's something. She would be speaking other things on me. She wouldn't just be like, oh, well, my daughter's a hoe and everything she touches dies and this, that, and the other. My mama wouldn't speak that on me. So in a way, I feel like Hannah spoke this on her child. I feel like she did. But in another way, it's like, dang, you really think she would kill her whole grandbaby? The entirety of the whole boy, just kill him to spite Candace? I could see it from both directions. Anyway, and then Benny goes into trying to read, you know, because he don't want her to say that their mama should have got shot. And he goes into, she's going into, you know, I've provided this, that, and the other for you. And he goes into, ain't nobody tell you to sell your ass to do it. And I'm saying, like, but you knew that she was selling it and you still received the purchases. So I don't understand. You knew your sister wasn't doing nothing legal after you went down to the law offices and found out that, you know, it's not 100. You knew your sister wasn't doing nothing legal and you still was like riding for her, taking things from her and this, that, and the other. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. I don't have time. And then he starts crying, saying he should have listened to his mama and blah, 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 blah. And Hannah tells them that everything y'all wanted for this funeral is just not going to happen. The funeral is not going to be tomorrow. It's going to be Thursday, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. And what I don't understand is why we having a whole funeral. This boy was locked in captivity for many years, what it sounds like. He ain't had no friends. Hannah don't have no friends. Benny has Mitch. And Candace don't have no friends. Why y'all having a whole funeral? Just have a quiet family hour viewing and then go home. Why are we having an entire... I just don't understand. Because who gonna be there? I guess maybe it's one of them, you know, community violence funerals where they gonna have Reverend Al Sharpton come talk. I just can't be bothered. But anyway. Hannah's asking, how you gonna pay for this funeral, this, that, and the other. And Candace said, I'm gonna get the money. Don't you worry about it. And then Hannah goes into, it's that man who's running for president, isn't it? And Candace like, girl, what? And she said, you blackmailing that man that is running for president. And Benny, that's why the Secret Service had you and this, that, and the other. And Candace said, what? Because Candace didn't know that Benny was in jail. She had no idea. She ain't know nothing about it. She just did not know anything about it. And so she's standing there like, girl, who was you playing with? Like, what's going on? And Benny is standing there like, this is all your fault. And it was boring me. It was really boring. And then we go into, oh wait, no, Candace, I guess Candace, maybe she did know. Because Charles said we sent your brother up to take the file. Maybe she didn't know he was in custody. She acted like she had no idea what was going on in that particular instance. But anyway, Candace goes on into, you know, if your programs, if the burial plot y'all selected, you know, if this casket, he gonna get the blue one, who want this ugly casket anyway. And she lifted the casket. She opened the door of the casket. And Lil Quincy was in there. And I said, oh, Jesus. I screamed. And then I started cackling because only Tyler Perry. If Lil Quincy would have sat up and said, if y'all don't shut up and let me rest, I would have died. I would have told Quincy, scoot over, daughter. I'm getting in this casket with you. But anyway, she opened up the casket and he was in there. Now, mind you, the funeral director was giving, oh, he's going to look good at the funeral. This, that, and the other. That boy had one little nick on his forehead. Like, it just doesn't make sense. But whatever. She's crying. She's going through it and this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, it's too much. It's just too much. Anyway, I thought this was the finale, but apparently the finale is next week. So I'll be back with y'all for that. Hopefully me and my mama can get Greenleaf out to you this evening. Maybe tomorrow. But anyway, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things the YouTubers say. I'm going to eat this food and then run on back in here to work. Anyway, y'all. Peace. Oh,